Oh, this is a world quest. Where am I going? All the way down.
It seems we have to use hydro to collect for maritime flowers.
Go! Za!
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting a few here. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
No way. I'm in power-saving mode today. Otherwise, I fear I may not have any energy left for the performance at the Opera House.
Fine. Though the performance is still a long way off. Now that we're finished here, we should get ready to head back to the Court of Fontaine.
So, we're going to the Court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House? Good. Paimon wants a tour of Fontaine's largest city and try...
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
She pickpocketing?
Huh? What's wrong with her?
She's obviously a thief. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't discover what you're really doing. Watch her movements carefully.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should split up. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her escape route if she tries to run. All right,
Oh, thank goodness, I don't have to sneak around. Agreed. Jeez, how tall is this tower? I feel like I've been faster if I was running.
wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her?
Since where? We're not lying.
Oh no! Did she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might also be trying to lure... Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Linny caught the thief. Yeah, let's go.
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not missing anything else.
No, that was all. Oh, I can't thank you enough. I didn't notice a thing earlier. Anyway, I should be going now.
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing.
I saw the general direction she went, but Linny twisted.
Oh, did you get hurt, Linny?
He looks fine.
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all. In fact, it's feeling better already.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail.
You're right. Sorry, Lynette. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief. Guess...
All right.
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious...
This is an aqua. It's pretty convenient.
So you mean it's still boring, even when I'm riding with you?
What are you doing? Alright, come on. Lay down. Lay down. No, lay down. Sit. Down. Now lay down.
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that, besides, it doesn't really feel like a real
What?
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave.
Lay down. Lay down. Oh, hello.
Oh, excuse me! Aren't you the great magician Linny? And his assistant Lynette?
Nope.
Hello. I don't believe we've...
I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh?
It's an honor to meet you.
Wait, could that be the legendary traveler who's been making headline after headline in their journey across Tibet?
Amazing.
I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know. Wow.
So, Charlotte, what do you usually report on?
Well, when there isn't any breaking news, you can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever... For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days.
5 days?
That's fine and all, but what I'm really after is exclusive sensation. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately.
You mean the serial disappearances of young women case?
That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now. If I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed...
So, what is the... series?
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age, and that they've all vanished without a trace.
Did they just evaporate?
But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found.
No bones. No remains, so they evaporated into what,
Many
air?
suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every...
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls... I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please don't imagine that, Lenny.
Hey, we're almost there! Look!
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this.
Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly.
Ah, I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late.
Okay, Paimon hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte. See ya!
Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steambird when you have time.
What a tough job. Always running around and
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides,
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all. This city is so huge, Paimon wouldn't know where to start anyway.
What is that? I've already been here.
this is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Father? Who's your father?
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Lenny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me?
Wow, they walked 2 paces forward.
Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Show is cancelled.
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption.
Liar.
Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Fremine, always quick with...
Looks like rain.
You don't say.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual. Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Oh, a teleport waypoint.
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry, it might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers.
That reminds me of a... Hang on a minute. Anyway, it reminds me of the Japanese legend that there's a giant catfish underneath Japan, right? And the water god holds it down with a giant stone. And whenever he loosens his grip or loses grip and it shakes, that causes hurricanes and earthquakes. I learned that while watching River Monsters. I know it's kind of ridiculous. Like, no, that don't make sense, but okay.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
So we just stood here, staring at the rain, for hours? Okay.
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, you couldn't do it in the rain?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Araneus. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Oh, are you leaving now?
Nope.
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, perhaps we could trouble the traveler. I'm afraid that Fremine can...
No trouble at all! Don't worry, we're on the case!
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, no need! This'll be...
Paimon, did you notice something? Like, the way they talk to Fremine? Saying too much into it.
Hello?
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made?
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are.
Ah, these must be from Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, but they insisted on paying the full amount. So,
Whoa. So,
I can't say for sure, but who knows?
hey, is this machine what you use?
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology. And waste...
But where does a big machine like...
Well, it's a little but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
So you need to have a criminal every day?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
Huh? First off, mouthful. Second off. Yeah, this is the Misfit Demon King Academy nonsense all over again. Great anime, by the way. I like it. I like how a fan club was able to power Anos more than like hundreds of people. It was great.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments. But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the...
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month?
Huh?
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the material.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first?
Child, what are you doing here?
If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding me now?
Oh my gosh. Calling the kettle black.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
What are you doing here, child?
We're surprised to see you too! What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't...
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect... Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora, fine. What?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's...
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients, you're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take...
Seriously?
No time to lose.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it?
Hmm?
Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Did she take away your hydro vision?
Strange. How could that happen? First,
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides,
so what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see its work for Northland Bank.
well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself. But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power.
Maybe you losing control of...
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but it was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught, she was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on because I had awakened it. And
But what is it? What did you awaken?
He's a dragon.
she never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon. So why don't you just go ask your master?
You make it sound so easy. Ever since But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember
Oh.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
And no, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelist?
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded, and the worst-case scenario is that though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being
So, do many people actually get out of their...
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably... Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with. Which is Apparently the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's child for ya. Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel. So, I think I'll be better off without it for now.
Can you... You rely on your vision, but are you also built to rely off of it?
Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling... Well, since we don't have much...
Wouldn't that flash of light mean that Farina took away his vision?
Whoa! Now this is fancy! The opera... Huh. Looks like there's a
Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Weirdo.
Maybe this is one of the customs in fun.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Shush, I hear something.
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary. Lenny asked me to wait.
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
Paimon, it's not my fault you're easily scared.
I see. I might be, in fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you...
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would...
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
So, what did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing their
Rather than worrying about them, don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance.
Oh, right. That makes... I wonder where humans come from.
Do we offer tears here? Oh, another one for me to not have completed. Oh, I got the hiccups.
Traveler and Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, but you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering. The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
No, I thank you.
Ooh, front row seats.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
Come over here and take a look at this, please, Faye.
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go.
Would that be in here? Hey, I want to sit on the booth. Somewhere up high.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit
Paimon, do you even sit? Hello. He's early like us.
Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Oh, you little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
It's your idea.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down.
Paimon, you don't know how to keep your voice down.
Wait, that's not it. Paimon's... Sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude. Oh, Paimon's got it.
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linney, then. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Vaudain.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself.
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Nervillet? Where's the R? We've been pronouncing his name wrong this entire time.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be...
Ooh, sorry for being...
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
We've already met. What are you talking about?
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
We already met her. She challenged us to a duel and then got scared. Hello, Farina. You are so not what I was imagining for the Hydro Archon.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her...
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished...
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Ooh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting!
Shush, Paimon.
Sorry.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's...
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing... Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynn, I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Oh, and before I forget, you never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage.
Guess you're right.
Thank you everyone. I'm glad, but our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
Okay.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive, in which case, I have ample time to make all necessary. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
Is it us?
Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already... Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have...
The lucky audience member will be generated by this It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box.
Wow, it's not me.
I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what, if the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one like this. 60, 59, 58. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be...
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see... Come on, repeat after me.
60! 59!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. Oh.
54? 53? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality.
Oh, alright. You look so serious that Paimon... 40! 39!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there?
Yes, I'm fine. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, 25! 20!
What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration.
Never mind the decorations.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my...
19!
It seems things aren't quite going as... It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be 10 seconds and change is still...
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
Where's the audience? Who did that? What? I smell sabotage. Someone sabotaged the performance.
Huh? Is this part of the show? Mr. Linney, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But...
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
I smell sabotage.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linney's magic troupe.
Wasn't it a girl?
Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience.
Exactly, where'd she go?
And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know that I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it? Now that I think about it,
That can't be right. He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may...
I just think that I think...
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the...
I mean, of course, that's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? Then there's no problem. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. So no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a...
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
Paimon, that's not the important part. The important part is that how could the fireworks have severed the line just like that? Unless that line was really, really thin and brittle. It would take a lot more than a split second of fire, you think? Besides, we would smell the smoke. And he wasn't in the box. He ran away from the box. So where did the guy come from? How did he get into the box when he left it? Watch the thing. I say it was sabotage.
I understand. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her... Are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
Never that. It's not even legal. Because I'm not a lawyer.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for... Linney and his troupe are all potentials. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly...
A day isn't that long. Let's see what...
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an...
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me. Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me.
You don't look like the type of guy that would murder someone in public.
I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And as for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Where did you get the glasses and mustache?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop, and don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them.
I think they look cute on you.
You have good taste, Lynette!
That's the right attitude. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
We're your lawyers. By default, I guess, because they don't have lawyers here. And we'll go investigate. I watched Argophant play Ace Attorney, okay?
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, we're useless, kind of thing.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start...
Oh, well...
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. 'Tis truly a pity. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover we should go somewhere else.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here.
Alright, let's go take a look.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
What did you find, Esmond?
The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Nah, we just met him.
Well, you can't say we're.
So in just a short time, he was not. I know there's no such thing as magic. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime.
So is Cowell. He's trusted. His job was to set up and inspect the props. Yeah.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water
It's really
tank to
short
fall.
for the rope.
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly
That's
by
what I'm
fireworks?
saying.
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
Sabotage. Someone sabotaged them.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it... Wait! Why would you write all this down?
Yeah, wouldn't shows like this have like wire? Why would they use rope that is flammable when they're gonna have flammable substances on stage?
The investigation team has some new findings.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murder—
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Well, you're quick to assume. It's obviously sabotage.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had—
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
So someone messed with it.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Yeah, but that wouldn't... Oh my gosh, you guys are so easily deceived. Because if it's a random generator, but if someone, like, ticked it just right for it to land on the same number, it could have been done without his knowledge. Paimon, we're his lawyers. We're supposed to believe that our client is innocent. Stop incriminating him.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's...
That's what I say, and someone tampered with it. Jeez. What do you think, ma'am? Let me go in it. What do you think?
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, if you find any new and interesting leads...
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
It wasn't cut, it was burned!
But wasn't the noise we heard?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right. Oh, that's true.
That does remind...
Was it even cut? How could she cut it when it was burned? We literally saw it. Not these two. Not these two. Oh, over here. Molly.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. I think someone will be assigned to monitor. Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone will be
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been...
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No?
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Are you an actual lawyer?
Have you from mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums? You name it. Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
We don't need protection.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well...
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should...
No need. You don't have to call...
Okay, if you say so.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, that's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. Judging from the look of things...
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now!
Paimon, you didn't sound like you believed him in the first place. You shouldn't be the attorney or the detective.
But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally.
My unparalleled... Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course...
Sounds more like you just don't...
Well, what's your opinion? All right, I've answered your question.
Wait a minute! Did that answer
Well, I say it does. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well...
And why would that be? See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too, no matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience, then if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Now, I need to make some preparation.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but you wish to save a friend.
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start.
Alright, interesting. That's right, we came here to ask you.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or...
No, we're not leaving. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time, I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl... Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful in...
I'm stuck on a pot. What about those side pieces? Can't climb it. It's like child's place. Oh, we can ask Maurice. There is a door here. Does it go anywhere? What do you think, Maurice?
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the seats were all booked in advance. So we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The magic troupe members all claim not to know her, and we have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has, simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Fatui.
Okay then.
It has the Fatui written all over it.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing, it is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
It smells like a Fatui.
We've checked everything of note here the... Whoever the murderer was, this rope was up. People needed to register and reserve a seat for the show. Why would it be him? Gosh, we all heard that the performance would not have been visible.
Oh yeah, we have child's vision.
Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Paimon, we're attorneys. Professional is what you need.
Understood. Then I will be going with you.
Just very good. Thanks for being so agreeable.
You may spare the pleasantries.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry.
I like your outfit.
I got a little carried away there. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Paimon,
Yes, a
always
world of
below
secrets
stage.
is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specific. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
They don't open?
I'm not trying to be dramatic, remembering the details of a...
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That...
The back? You mean the inside of the door?
Very good indeed. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly.
I don't know, do we need to know?
So there was a passageway under the...
I knew you'd figure out most. The 2 magic boxes are See this flatbed? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the...
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here. The audience member would only be able to feel some...
Right! You were talking that whole...
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated. My assistant and I had already scripted...
And what about Lynette?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only...
So that's how it all worked! Wow!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go
You're
back
twins.
in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping
Twins usually
before the
look
box on
alike.
the trolley could fin. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area. And the trick, but as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience.
We really don't know how that happened.
She has ears, you don't.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an... And yet, to think that's... Could we have a look around?
This
Yes,
is the
that's
scene
what
of the
I've been
crime.
trying to do.
So Linny and Lynette are not...
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone.
Alright. Let's investigate. Where's the switch?
Huh. What's this?
Looks like a hook.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
I don't think Lenny knows about it.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which,
knocked a vase over.
why would there...
Oh! Paimon knows! It's... and here's a broken vase!
No.
That can't be. The trolley moves a...
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
It's really obvious, Paimon. Someone knocked it over.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady... Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere...
Right! And do you really need... Ugh, this is so confusing!
Was that her really her outfit? I don't remember it having so much cover. Oh, wait a minute. This is a vent! So that's how they got in.
What is this place?
It's a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Exactly.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Absolutely.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had...
But there are no other ways in or out of here! Oh, you're right! Let Paimon right...
I say we go in it.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
I say we go through it, see where it leads.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings.
Apologies for the wait, Demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
I don't know.
They believe the odds of the guards have checked the area carefully. No one left.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then!
The plot thickens. No wonder Farina was so confident in her act.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld.
Charges and then trial.
That's right. This is how a trial goes. That's right. This is the statements from both sides. The defense, to put it simply, it's as if the
This also precludes any kind of favoritism.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. Then, finally, the
Huh? So that machine...
In practice, there is very little. Yes,
Huh?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes up...
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties. And even if that were not...
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Silver don't.
Whoa! There's no need for that!
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly just kidding! Just kidding!
What do you mean, no snacks?
Huh?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Guys, we're supposed to be investigating. I want to comb every single inch of this place.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the Demoiselle's baking needs.
I have eggs, sugar, and almond.
Good work, you two.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon, Dad, it's from the way you had these two guys carrying all that, but you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking.
Oh Well, don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. Anyway, give these
Only through.
well, eating too many.
Tea is ready to be served as well. No need for concern.
Alright, time to go over evidence.
Alright then. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make more sense, because it would be probably a struggle down there, and so they knocked over it. But why would her clothes not be on her?
Resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real...
True. None of the... But the only people left to consider are both technically...
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props? And...
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guards said...
Were we not... From the sound of things, this is turning... Your macarons are amazing, though, Navia. They smell...
They are my special...
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age...
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then...
Alright, we get it. Maloose, set up the stove again if you...
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course?
Exactly. We don't want to...
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg sugar.
Well, this...
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know what we're looking for yet. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied.
Alright, thanks for your help.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation. Why would it be him? Gosh. We all heard the performance.
I don't need your constant.
And that's why there was no taking a time. That size would.
So he was really trusted, and everyone liked him. She doesn't know about the trope. Yeah, her clothes are different from what we found below. I think the thump might have been the vase hitting the ground and breaking. And there's 2 layers. So if Lynette wasn't the one that Lenny was supposed to be in. She was in the outer layer. So when the girl went down, she was in the inner layer. Went down below. That's where we heard the thud. That was probably the struggle below. I think he was hiding in the vent. No, there's definitely a third person.
Whoever the murderer was, this rope was... People need... This is probably... Paimon doesn't...
This is different clothes than what she was wearing. But did you see how, like, Lenny, like, had her vanish and her clothes were left behind? Do you think that's another magician? I don't know, this smells like Fatui to me. Could always quiz Child, see if his people are kidnapping people now. Of course it wasn't knocked over by the trolley, there was a struggle, duh. Could be escape. So someone used rope that was flammable instead of like a wire. You'd think with Fontaine being so advanced they would have wire instead of rope. And someone tampered with this to land on the same number every single time. Wow, they really set up for all this to go down Lenny. What time do I need it to be? 8? I mean, we can't leave, it won't let us leave, so... Well, they cleaned it up just for us. How thankful. No one's here right now. The cutscene's gonna switch and there's gonna be like a bazillion people in here.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
Well, it don't look good, because the criminal, obviously, is either A, a magician like you, so he knows how to plan it, or B, it's the Fatui. Cause, oh my gosh. They really did point everything towards you guys.
To be honest?
No. We're already very...
Well now, don't you all look disappointed?
Farina, you know
don't
nothing.
Tell me that was to be expected, of course. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Wow, where did all these people come from?
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the...
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began. and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
He pleads innocent.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Pheonix.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lenny is clearly lying.
Objection!
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Lenny,
Oh,
don't
is
talk.
that so?
You let me talk.
And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
Lenny, I'm your lawyer. Stop talking.
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached...
Huh?
Hey, hang on!
Focus. Remember what Lenny told us with the thief? They keep your attention on one thing. Everything else becomes background noise. That's how.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud.
I was right by the box, and I definitely...
Look at those scales. Look at those.
Well then, lady, of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations... Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
What does this have to do with it?
The House of the Hearth?
This is
No
unrelated.
wonder they did something.
So the serial disappearances.
I've got a feeling that what happened
my
on
gosh,
stage
she's spinning
probably
it.
wasn't...
No, she's spinning it.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could... Your first priority is to prove...
Objection! Come on, traveler, say something.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
You fabricated evidence? That's illegal.
Hey, Lenny!
Order! Order! First, when are these claims true?
They didn't do it.
Please answer my question.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
This has nothing to do with the case.
I knew it!
Shut up.
Well, that's it. We might.
What should we do now?
Shut up, Pylon. It's our turn.
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
Shut up.
They're all...
The defendant deceived their.
Order! Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn.
So, in that case,
Oh my gosh, Farina, you're so annoying. Lenny. You talking digs yourself a grave. I'm your lawyer, you're supposed to let me do the talking. I don't care that you're part of the 50.
Well,
it has nothing to do with the
this
case.
is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Travel.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon just... We based our entire reasoning on this, not to
They're
set their own
not.
tone or anything.
They didn't
but
do
Paimon's
it.
really mad!
Do you really think the Fatui would do something and get caught just like that?
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before, but our organization is very, very large.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation, and I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could be... That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you. But the truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more... Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, you met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. But still, I'm asking you to trust...
Sorry. Please forgive us.
You're forgiven. This is completely unrelated.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately?
That's a very good question.
During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as... Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
It's true, though. The place is gonna drown.
So, there you have it. It was never my wish to proceed under this, but like I said earlier, you can be the judge.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
We're defending them. They didn't do it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty bad. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need... Huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
He headed to the chamber. And so he didn't hear it. And he didn't see it take place. But there was a voice. So someone was there. He heard someone was there. Alrighty then. Alright. But he saw the broken vase, which means...
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
His past has nothing to do with this case.
Ugh,
such a liar.
That took long enough at this stage. Let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Correct.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altar. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by every... Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent... At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, so Linney proceeded to knock... Afterward, Linney passed the And there you have it.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced, and what he saw.
So Linney entered it, yes. But he didn't stay. Yes, he headed to the chamber containing the Oratrice core upon entering the tunnel. So he didn't see it or hear it. There was a voice in the chamber. The clothes were on. He was very confused. So he heard a voice when he went down there. He went to the chamber, so he didn't even go there. I hope this is right. I'm not good at this.
See.
Okay, fine. What? Alright, man. I'm not good at this, am I? Wait, seriously? Okay, no, he did not attack him.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
So Lenny knocked Hazley out. Didn't he hear someone else in there?
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Says he knocked him out. But he wasn't there.
Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! When the countdown started, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House space. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore... Paimon did it!
Paimon, shush.
In other words, you believe...
That's right!
My reasoning?
Yeah, he bumped into Lenny, but Lenny never met him. And the important thing is it was tampered.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. You're saying that he wasn't?
Yeah. You're right, he wasn't. Because his sister wasn't she? Because she popped out on the other end. Her claim is a pretty good clue. Hmm? Well, she doesn't know him. There's a strange sound.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well, to think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
There's a third person.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Could there have been a third person involved?
There's a third person.
The
Are we saying it's
deceased's name is
Cowell?
Cowell.
But why would he kill himself?
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The
Oh, is
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
So it backfired on him.
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would like... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
So Lenny wasn't in the tunnel at the moment.
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrance.
It's true.
It would have been tough for both people to fit in. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's... No one entered or left... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Okay, so two of them are incorrect.
No one entered or left the Opera House through its...
Wait.
The sound we heard may have come from a... No one entered or left... It would have been tough for both people to... The sound we heard may have come from a clash.
No, it was right.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Oh, I see what it's doing.
No one entered or left the...
So I need to flip it.
The sound we heard may have come from... It would have been tough for both people to...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring?
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end...
If only we knew how Halsey...
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3... And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person.
That's it.
Excuse.
It's the water.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
No, it's the water.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey. The deceased's name is Cowell. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The
Paimon gets it! It all comes together! Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method...
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here. Must we real magic tricks are ultimate?
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reason. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence... Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the Primordial Sea.
The Primordial Sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but...
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your
Let's go. Just
Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased... Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic. Albeit, guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the...
The deceased's name is Cowell. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. I remember there was something else within the inner... The water from the Primordial Sea. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for... Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was something else within the inner... The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fire. I remember, there was something else.
Yeah.
Ahem. It's in the original plan. Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowl's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that I shall now invite him on stage to share.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Lenny's personal effects.
He planted it on Lenny?
What?
That can't be.
Or did Farina plant it?
Does this not, my dears?
No. No, she planted it, didn't
Lenny
she?
did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman, having made modifications to but upon his return. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and now, as much as I regret... Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end of the road?
No.
Oh no. Seems using the water as new evidence.
I think we've all seen... I believe this is indeed the... Now then, my good. Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linney. If you would... What in the world?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. But as the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
She's figured it out.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So, the whole thing about...
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
She's the
That'll
accomplice.
teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away.
Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief! Lenny even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nap. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story.
So he went in the tunnel.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened. The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowell. Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon! Having been selected out of the blue, her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel. He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordials. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily, with no way of escaping, she changed... that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So
she had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky
At this point, all the events that happened...
so that...
Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you... Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution...
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall... The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young... When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Higher-ups?
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know.
And then he dissolves.
Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
Yep, he's dissolving.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Dang, they dissolved him? Just like that?
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. I guess. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Is Father the Doc?
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth?
Oh, it's actually...
She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I, to survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner it.
That doesn't seem too bad either.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no.
So he sold her.
So he was gonna... But what if...
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to a I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, the knave, might have... The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of... If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free.
Bye, Linny!
Hey there! What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial...
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little sorry.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk... Sorry about... Wait, shall we have a farewell meal?
Huh? Do we really?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist my hands on.
Oh, wonderful.
All right then, let's have our farewell.